What's up, guys? G from GV Reviews here with my second video ever. I know when I posted my 2023 end of year collection tour, I was unsure about whether I would ever post another video again. I got some pretty positive feedback on that video. And so, that did make me feel a little bit motivated to continue to contribute to the community through a video format. And I think it is a fun way of interacting outside of posting the usual pictures on Facebook or Instagram or things of that nature. Now, I am still very much a novice. This is my first time using StreamYard. I signed up for it about 20 minutes ago, and I hope that I have enough of a handle on it to at least get through this one video, and we'll see how it goes after that. So I noticed that there was a quick transition in collectors' videos from end of year tours to 2024 pre-orders and interest lists. And I thought that that would be a fun thing to share. I don't have very much, honestly. I think, as I mentioned in my collection tour, I am a one piece at a time, slow and steady collector. I'm usually not getting multiple pieces at a time. Now, some things may end up shipping at the same time, but I normally don't have more than 4 to 5 things on pre-order at once. So this isn't going to be a necessarily long video, but we'll just see how it goes. So let's start off with some pictures of the 3 statues that I have money in already. And 2 of them, at least, I think are expected to ship in the upcoming year. So starting off, we have the XM Studios Dawn of X Magneto. This was a statue that really did get quite a bit of, oh goodness, there we go. I don't know where to put my pointer. I'll just leave it alone. This was a statue that did get a lot of hate when it was initially revealed, and then throughout, every time it is shown in a XM Studios tour, of their showroom, it just seems to get a lot of negative commentary. I absolutely love it. I think the concept, the idea, the emotion that's captured in Magneto walking victoriously through the Sentinel head really captures something about the character that I don't normally see in a lot of Magneto statues. It's typically the rage and the anger that I think collectors tend to be geared towards when it comes to adding a Magneto to their collection. And I can understand that because that is probably what he is best known for. But I really love what this statue is presenting. I love the modernizations. I love all the paneling, but that is something that is definitely individual taste. I love modernizations. I don't want anything that is just comic accurate because I tend to find those to be pretty boring. I do wish, though, as other collectors had mentioned upon its first reveal, that another head sculpt or one of these head sculpts have just a little bit of a growl or a snarkiness, not necessarily a total anger, but just something not so, I don't know, blank, I guess. And I know that that is a constant criticism, I think, with XM Studio statues, is with the facial expressions and what exactly it's capturing. But I think it works overall for the statue, though I think that would have been an additional component that would have pleased a lot of collectors. Now, something else that I noticed about this piece that it doesn't really concern me, but I'm interested to see how it turns out in person. I think there were some paint updates to the base with the pieces as you see them now, particularly the skin colored portions not coming off very metallic. I know that we typically trust XM Studios with its robotic metallic paints and sculpts, and I am very much inclined to do the same with this, but I do notice in this picture some of the pieces do look a bit flat. So the Magneto is completely paid off. And this is a statue that I have made, I think, just one payment on thus far. This is a custom Mr. Sinister statue, and I am one who tends to shy away from custom statues. I have my own reasons for that. I have had one in the past. It did not feel as polished as a licensed statue. There were some things about it that I didn't like in the engineering. But this one seems to be simple enough that I do trust it. I also trust the commissioner, and I trust the individual who will be providing some of the prototype paint applications. So this right here is probably the way that I will choose to display him. Mr. Sinister is not a character that I have grown up being very fond of or enjoying very much, and I've actually come to like him much more throughout the Krakoan age of the X-Men comics. Thus why this head sculpt with the longer hair, which is his Powers of 10 or House of X or Krakoan age, or however you want to identify this current run of comics, look. This does come with quite a number of switch outs, which I know for some collectors is very much like, yes, I love, give me all the options. For me, it's give me an option that I like, because the rest of them are going to stay in the box, because I'm not going to waste time having all these things stored, knowing that I'm never going to switch them out. You can see it comes with 6 different head sculpts. I will probably not pose him to the side, so those bottom 2 really don't do much for me. I think that the smiling long-haired and then the laughing or maniacal laugh of the short hair above it are going to be my 2 preferred options. It also comes with 6 different arm switch outs, or 6 different display options. I like the arms behind the back or the fingers touching in front. Again, I'm not a big fan of posing any statue from the side if I don't have to. I do like a forward-facing look. And then there will be one of 2 options, if I remember correctly, either the blue or the black, and I'm very much torn on which color I'll end up choosing. The last statue that I have money tied in for this year is PCS's quarter scale Leatherface. I did get the silver exclusive version, not because of any of these little bonuses to the side, but because I wanted the hand coming out of the base. I think this statue is nearly impeccable. I made a lot of side-by-side comparisons of this, as well as rewatched the movie close after this statue was revealed. A lot of it is pretty screen accurate, including these leather gauntlets. But I think the only area that could have been improved is in the face. Honestly, in the movie, his face seems to be slightly shaped a little bit more like, I want to say rounder. I think just a rounder face. It was something about the face. I don't remember exactly, but if that's the only nitpick you can have with a statue, then I think you're in pretty good hand. Yeah, I tried to make a joke there. So these, again, are the 3 statues that I have money in. Magneto should ship this year. XM has been really lacking. I mean, maybe every company has. I don't know. But it just seems as though they put out shipping updates, and then 95% of those statues that are expected to ship in a certain quarter don't, and they just get pushed to the next one. And most of them really have gotten pushed to the next one. At least that's what I saw in 2023. So whatever production slowdowns are going on, I really do hope that they get fixed. Or if this is just the new norm, then I would like it to be known that, yeah, this is just the new norm. I want to say I ordered this a year ago, I think, last fall. So it's been over a year, and there is no other update to be found. Sinister, I would expect to probably ship in 2025, and Leatherface is set to come out later this year. Now, for statues I'm interested in and are probably likely to pick up, but I haven't put any money towards, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But first is XM Studios' Jean Grey Classic. Again, just like the Magneto Dawn of X, this was a statue that came out and most people seem to have a negative outlook on it. Not liking a lot of the modernizations and the changes to her outfit, which I have already cited, is right up my wheelhouse. So it's almost as though they made the statue specifically for me. I think the base and the use of her powers looks impeccable. Again, XM and robotics, fantastic. It's hard to beat them in that aspect. I know that the biggest qualm collectors had was in her chest area, seeming as though this was not shaped well enough and not sized well enough to be distinguishable as a woman. I thought that that was really nonsensical and pretty specific just to people's personal um personal admirations for the female form. You know, everyone likes something different. Um, I can see where they attempted to apply some shading to demonstrate is this concave, I think, uh, a sense of concaveness in between the chest. But I can understand that this suit may be conceptually of a material that would really push down against the chest, but everyone wanted to pull out the recent sideshow jean gray, which bores the heck out of me. I saw that one at New York Comic Con and instantly knew I wasn't going to get it, although the face is impeccable. And then in a recent update to the statue, it's very clear to me that the breasts were enlarged. I mean, there's no other way of putting it. You can kind of see where there's much more of a side curve leading into the bottom of the breast. And in this one, there is nothing of that sort. I did do a side-by-side comparison and posted that picture, I think, in the Everyday Collector Facebook group back when it was revealed that there was a slight edit. I think the hair has a bit more orange in it. I think they already made that change, but you can see it a lot better in this lighting in their showroom than in this picture here, where it still carries a lot of that brown. Again, that doesn't bother me. I think it looks fantastic either way. So this is one I didn't pre-order and haven't put any money towards. And again, I said I would tell you why, and it's because there just seems to be no point. Collectors are being pretty choosy with where they put their money, you know, in the current economic times, as well as either there being so many options for statues or there not being enough options to feel compelled to order because there are a bunch of people who are saying they don't want it to begin with. And this Jean Grey is one of them. A lot of collectors don't seem to like it. Every retailer still has them available. And with all of the sales I saw at the end of 2023, it really makes me feel like I should just wait till the end of 2024 when Jean Grey's in stock and then buy it on sale, buy it with a discount. Why buy it in full now when there's plenty available? Again, it's something I'll keep an eye on. And if I notice that stock is going down or upon in-hand photos, everyone's like, ooh, we want this now, then yeah, I would be compelled to buy it. But for the time being, it's something that is very high on my interest list. I don't have a beast. I thought that XM Studios was fine. It was a solid piece. I didn't own it. I didn't see it in person, but it just didn't seem like it was worth the price. And there are some things I didn't appreciate about it, specifically the choice in paint, in color, in their shading. It seemed very dark. And then, to be honest, I've seen a lot of repaints of the XM Beast with a brighter blue, and I don't think that that necessarily works for that sculpt. So I felt like I was in a rock and a hard place because that was the only quarter scale beast available. Again, I'm not really into custom, so I don't even look at those. And to be honest, looking at the custom beasts, I would still feel like XM Studios was the best option for me. Iron Studios came out with theirs. Yes, it's different. But as someone who doesn't mind changes in the costume and modernizations and things of that nature, I really like this beast. And at first, I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but the more and more I saw pictures, I really came to appreciate what Iron Studios is doing with this one. The only thing I wish is they didn't have the gloves, but hey, what are you going to do? One nitpick. You can't win them all. The base, I think, is fantastic. I love this grouchy, closed mouth head sculpt that no one else seemed to really like. I think most everyone wants, or anyone who would get it, at least seemed to be indicating that they would choose the growling portrait. It does look a little weird from the side, I'll admit that, but it won't be displayed from that way, and to me won't matter. This is one that, you know, Iron Studios, I don't know if they do it for all their statues, but I know at least for their legacy replicas, everything is just limited edition. There's no set edition size. So I feel absolutely no rush. I do have some sideshow points saved up to be able to purchase this. So I do hope at some point I can just wait for it to get in stock and then hopefully use a promo code along with those rewards to bring the price down even more. So from the 12 days of sideshow, I am interested in the Mystique. I do enjoy the one. I don't know if it's you can't see it because my head's in the way. I have the most recent sideshow Mystique premium format. I really, really, really like it. I purchased it, I returned it, and then I repurchased it later on in life. It's near perfect for me, and I don't know that I'm not inclined to replace it, but I'm interested. I'll see how this one looks. And if I think it's better, I have no problem selling this one and replacing that one. I am I say typically, no, I am a one representation of a character, period. I don't want multiples. I don't have enough space for that. I don't have enough money for that. And I want to be able to maintain a variety. So I would sell that one if I like this one more. I'm also a bit interested in this Weapon X. Now I do have the most recent astonishing suit Wolverine on the Sentinel hand that pairs with the X-23, and I do like that one quite a bit. But Weapon X is really cool, and the concept that's being teased is really intriguing. And Martin Canali is sculpting it, and so that gets me really interested. So I don't know that it would necessarily fit my collection as well as the Wolverine I already have, but sometimes it's really hard to just deny a really cool statue. So it may beat the traditional Wolverine out. I don't know. So going to the horror collection a little bit more, I already have the quarter scale Michael Myers and Ghostface, and I'm really hoping that PCS will continue with these iconic horror characters. But I understand that licensing and things of that nature may not always play out the way we want. So I do want a Freddy Krueger. I am hella patient. I have no problem waiting. So the odds are I won't try to pick up any of these older pieces, but it is something I've looked at, scoured eBay for, went on the BSTs just to get an idea of availability and pricing. So the most recent Freddy Krueger premium format would be pretty interesting to me. I think it looks really good. And same thing with the most recent Jason Voorhees PF. This is one that I'm a bit more inclined to track down. I like Freddy Krueger more as a character, and I like the statue a lot. But I would probably end up picking this Jason Voorhees up because of the licensing issues with Friday the 13th that has plagued this franchise for the better part of a decade. That is why there have been no other movies. And although Peacock, I don't even know if it was real or not, whether Peacock officially announced that Crystal Lake series or not, but it's obviously still in development, even if it is officially announced. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean much for other representations of the character, such as in statue or figures or things like that. So I'm not sure how successful PCS could be in even getting the license for this. So I do want to keep my eye on this because this may be my best option for quite a long time. And then that's kind of it. There isn't much else that I'm interested in or planning to pre-order, but hey, who knows what else is going to come out? We get 12 days of sideshow, and that tends to give us a pretty good idea of what the year is going to look like. But a lot of those pieces haven't been fully revealed yet. And by the time they do go up for pre-order, I mean, some of them we probably won't see full until around sideshow con time, and then they'll go up for pre-order and not be ready to ship till mid to late 2025. So there could be other things that come up throughout the year, other companies revealing things, who knows? But something else wanted to share real quick, kind of show you how I think through some of these things. This is how I kind of keep track of what I want my collection to look like. And what pieces may look, better and what pieces may not. So this is my current X-Men display. I just do this in numbers, which is Apple's XL. And this is where I have the concept. So kind of what I'm looking towards in the future. It changes pretty much every day. I take an opportunity to look at it and think, oh, you know what? This character may look good here. This character may look good there. I am pretty sold right now on keeping it to 3 characters per shelf, except maybe the X-23 Wolverine Nightcrawler, because X-23 and Wolverine are such smaller pieces and they don't take up a lot of space. I can easily get a 4th statue in there. And it used to be Magic used to be on this shelf as well. I originally thought if I was going to get the XM Beast that I could shift this over, put XM Beast right here since it's also a smaller character, and have it like that. But that will likely not be the case with my plan to pick up Iron Studios Beast. And, you know, I originally was keeping things somewhat themed, kind of Danger Room-ish on this side, and then Sentinel themed on the other side, and I have completely screwed that up and lost all that consistency with some of the other pieces I'm getting. Now, you can usually imagine all of these to take place in either the Danger Room or somewhere in the mansion or outside or something like that. It's not like all of these bases have to match. But I did like that consistency for quite a while, but I have seceded to the fact that there are pieces coming in that I really like that just won't necessarily look like they fit in, such as Iron Studios Beast with its luscious forest base. So it is what it is. But so, yeah, this is what I use. You can see I take all of these from the websites and I remove the backgrounds and then try to size them as appropriately as I can. It's really hard to get the ratios correct, but I think they look pretty close. You can see I have some other things here. I have the other color of Sinister to determine which color I think will work best. I do want an Emma Frost statue quite badly. I think Sideshows is meh, like it's the character. And I think XM's looks nice, but it's not nowhere near what people ask for it. And honestly, as nice as the sculpt is, it's a bit boring. I do like characters that are demonstrating their mutant powers in some way. I don't like full museum. I don't need hella dynamic, but I do want it to demonstrate their abilities. And I know with telepaths and telekinetics, that can be really hard to demonstrate. I mean, Professor X is just sitting in his chair with Cerebro and has his fingers on his temple. Like, I mean, it's a pretty iconic pose, but with Emma Frost also being a telepath but also having her diamond form, I would have liked one of these statues to have her partially transformed or something along those lines. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Emma is someone I do want, and Beast and Jean. So I'm hoping that 2 of those 3 I already have carved out. I also use this for other things. This is not size accurate. My horror collection are in my old Bestas. They pretty much look like this. I just haven't gone through and corrected the size of the squares that I have. But this just gives me an idea of what pieces might look like together if I want to group them or just look like in the collection altogether. You can see I was even looking at the Sideshow Frankenstein and PCS's Gilman to see what those would look like together. Now, I'm not really into the classic monsters, except the PCS werewolf. I know that has only been teased thus far with like a early digital render, I believe. But that is something I will probably end up picking up. It won't go in this collection. It'll probably just go somewhere separately because it is 1/5 scale. I also started to do like extra displays and kind of seeing, hey, maybe I want to start a small Batman collection. And then I was going to do a shelf where maybe I start a small DC, not Batman specific, or a Spider-Man collection. I do like a lot of these characters, maybe not to the point of amassing a collection the size of my X-Men, but to be honest, this Poison Ivy, was it Deadly Nature? Oh my goodness. I think this is my favorite DC piece I have seen in a long time. So once that came out, I got pretty interested in, ooh, I would love to have her in the collection, and I'd like some companion pieces with her as well. It's really not going to go anywhere. I do that for fun. I know that I am too stingy to pull my wallet out and spend that much more on pieces, at least right now. Once the X-Men collection is pretty set, and once the horror collection is pretty set, and then of course I have my one standalone Godzilla piece, I only have a spot or two that could realistically house a statue. Now, there is the potential that one of the rooms that are in my townhome opens up, and I could potentially either one, move a lot of my collection in there and have a dedicated collection room, though I do like things spread out. Or I can use that space to start adding additional collections. I will probably end up actually taking the third option, which is moving everything from my storage unit into that room and not paying someone every month to house mostly empty boxes. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so that is that. I think this is a really cool way, by the way, guys. I think this is just really cool and fun to do. Lets you kind of have a digital collection, I guess, in a way. But I think it's really helpful for just eyeing what pieces will look like together without actually having to move all these damn things. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share that stuff with you guys. Again, I think this is cool. This is fun. I typically just don't consider myself much of a screen guy. I tend to like to do things behind the scenes, contribute in the chats, or comment on posts, but that's kind of it. I'm not really much of a personality, or at least I don't see myself as one, which is something I think I said in my collection tour. But we'll see how this goes. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to, you can go ahead and subscribe. You can like it. Again, I don't know if there's a future for any of this for me. Most of what I do, you can find under or at GV_reviews on TikTok. I review movies and TV series. That's kind of my jam. And so a lot of what I do goes there. But hopefully I will continue to feel motivated to keep up with this YouTube stuff. It would be no more than a video a week. And perhaps I will push through the walls and show up on one of these statue chats at some point in time. I don't know. We'll see how all of that plays out. And if you want to, comment below with what your favorite pre-order that you have for 2024 is. And other than that, I appreciate you watching, and thanks again.